Shankaram Shabhuma Shankararya Pitha Sadgurun Shuddha Sattva Bhasuran Suvartmanita Bhusuran Sarva Bhuta Saukhyadan Khamakaran Yatishwaran
Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shri Guru Charanadvandvam Vandeham Matita Dussahadvandvam Bhranti Grahopashantim Pam Sumayam Yasya Bhajitam Atanute. So these are the shlokas where the aspirant who has become an enlightened one is expressing his experience of the ultimate truth, that is Brahman, what he feels about the world, what he feels about himself, all these things he is expressing himself. So in this shloka that we are going to see today, Atma Vikalpa Matinam Askala Upadesha Gamya Manoham Astira Sukha Vimukhoham Sustira Sukhabodha Sampaduchitoham. Atma Vikalpa Matinam Askalat Upadesha Gamya Manoham. So, in the perception of the Atman, as whether it is the body-mind complex or it is the supreme consciousness that is Brahman. So, in this kind of a confusion, Askalat, without any confusion or any fall or doubt, I am very, very convinced that I am the ultimate Swarupam, that is the ultimate reality. Astira Sukha Vimukoham, I am turned away, I have turned myself away from the ephemeral pleasures of this life, and I am deeply established, very well established in the bliss of the Atman. Atmani, Atma Vishaye, Vikalpamatinam, Atma Aham Bhavami, Va Nava Nava Bhavami, Va Iti, Vikalpa Buddhinam. So this the confusion is whether I am the Atman or I am not the Atman. So here, this kind of a confusion also can arise only to a person who has exposed himself to the Vedanta Shastram. Otherwise, for a person who has no idea of anything about the Vedanta Shastram and the truth that is its teaching, there is no way he can even get a doubt like this. So he would have taken himself for granted that he is the body-mind complex and he is one among the various entities in the world, and whatever he is experiencing is very, very true to him. So this kind of situation is largely corrected when a person gets exposure to the Vedanta Shastram, and that's why there's a famous statement, Vicharena Vipariyeti. So when there is something which has not been inquired into, which has not been analyzed or studied, then there is one point of view, and the whole thing changes. A metamorphosis happens when a person analyzes something. So this is the statement in the Shastram, Vicharena Vipariyeti. So the classic example is about the rope snake. The person who has taken the rope to be a snake, unless he does the vichara of what is happening here, what is real, the truth here, he will continue to hold the wrong notion. But then when he presents the case to vichara or inquiry, then the whole thing changes. Then Askala Upadesha Gamya Manaha Askalanam Achalanam Nishchitaha Yaha Upadeshaha Tena Gamya Manaha Buddhyamano Astira Buddhyamanaha. So when this kind of a confusion persists, that whether I am the Atman or not, then the Upadesha that comes from the Shastram and the Guru, that you are the pure Brahmaswarupan itself, and not the body-mind complex, and not a samsari. This kind of an expression is made by Shankaracharya in several places in the Bhashyam. So he says, Nasitvam samsari kintu Tattvamasi. So that kind of a statement Shankaracharya makes in a few places in the Bhashyam. So when this teaching from the Shastram and the Guru is of this nature, he comes to know that he is the ultimate reality, but never the Swarupam. And this is the never the samsari. So here the statement here in this sloka is Askalatu Upadesha Gamyamanaha. Askalatam Achalanam Nishchitaha Yaha Upadeshaha Tena Gamyamanaha. So this the Upadesha coming from the Shastram and the Guru has been very clearly understood by him, and it has been taken to the ultimate logical end of realizing the truth. Then Astira Sukha Vimukaha. Astiram Chalam Yate Vishaya Sukham Tadrahitam Sukhabodha Sampaduchitaha Sukharupaha Yaha Bodhaha Jnanam Tasya Ya Sampat Samriddhihi Taduchitaha Yogyaha Ahameva. So he has also realized that he has turned away from the ephemeral pleasures of the world by constant application of the vichara, the teaching of the Shastram and the Guru, and his own sadhana. He has now come to a very clear conclusion that he has no taste ever for the ephemeral pleasures of the world. And what has replaced that? It is the Sukhabodha Sampati. So that Sampati is actually wealth, the great wealth of the blissful nature of the Atman. That is the one which I have come to realize myself as, and that is the wealth he has gained now. So even to give up the ephemeral pleasures of the world, he has to have the motivation or the incentive to realize himself as this Swarupam, which comes from the teachings of the Shastra. So that is why in the Manisha Panchagam also, Shashvan Nashvara Meta Dakilam iti Nishchitya Vacha Guroho. So what the sloka says is, from the words of the Guru, he comes to know that all these things that he is encountering in the world is ephemeral. It is going to end. Sometime or the other, it is going to end. It is all anitya. That is, it is impermanent. So this kind of conclusion he comes to. First, he gets that information only from the Guru. After that, he applies it to the world, and then he sees that for himself, he sees that everything is ephemeral. So Nishchitya Vacha Guroho. So that is the verse in the Manisha Panchakam. So in Vishaya Sukham Tadrahitam Sukhabodha Sampat Uchitaha Sukharupaha Yaha Jnana Swarupam Tasya Ya Sampat Samriddhihi Tad Uchitaha Yogyo Ahameva. So I am the only candidate fit for this wealth. So I am the one who has inherited this wealth. There is no one who can do this. So here he sees himself as the only one entity, because the teaching of the Upanishad also is that he is the only one entity alone in the creation, and that is Brahma Swarupam. And even though he knows that there are several others also who have realized this, and there are several others who are on the path of realizing this, but from the ultimate standpoint of the reality, that is the Paramarthika Satyam, he knows he is the only one Swarupam, Ekameva Advitiyam. So from that standpoint, he makes this statement that I am the only one who is the heir for this legacy. So the next sloka, Karunarasa Bharitoham, Kavalita Kamalasana Lokoham, Kalusha Ahankara Vilakshanoham, Kalmasha Sukrutopalepa Rahitoham. So this kind of shlokas also gain the benefits of poetry also. So that's why we get a lot of poetic expressions like the repetition of the syllable. First syllable is a repetition. Karunarasa Bharitoham, Kavalita Kamalasana, the Lokoham, Kalushahankara Ityadi. So Karunarasa Bharitoham, I am full to the brim with the trait of compassion. So compassion is one of the greatest traits of a jnani, because this person as an aspirant, as a sadhaka, he has experienced firsthand the greatness of the compassion of the Guru and the Shastram also. But that's why Bhagavad also in the Upanishad Bhashyam, he says in one or two places that the Upanishads are greater than 1,000 mothers and fathers. They are so compassionate. So that's kind of statement he makes. So the Shastram is also compassionate. The Guru also is compassionate. So Karuna Rasa Bharitoham. So now since he has experienced that, so now when he has realized his true nature, the trait of this compassion also is very well deeply embedded in him, ingrained in him. Kavalita Kamalasanadi Lokoham. So here Kamalasana is Brahma Loka, and so many other lokas of various other deities also. From the Advaita standpoint, there is only one loka that is called the Brahma Loka, that is the highest loka within creation, and which is admitted to be the abode of all gods. So whoever is doing any upasana of any deity, the default understanding is that if he is going to do that upasana throughout his life, then he will leave the body and he will reach this loka, ultimate loka called Brahma Loka, and that is the loka of his deity also. So whether it is he is a Shakti Upasaka or a Devi Upasaka or Dattatreya Upasaka or any Skanda Upasaka or Surya Upasaka, the Advaitic understanding is that he will reach this loka that is called the Brahma Loka, and from there he will gain the teaching or the knowledge of the Advitiya Brahman, that is the Nirguna Brahman, and then from there he will attain Videha Mukti. So he will never come back to samsara. So now this aspirant says, this enlightened person says that I have gobbled up or swallowed all the lokas of all the deities. So now from his standpoint of view, there are no lokas at all really, because there is no creation at all which has happened. So if anybody were to speak of any creation or Brahmanda, which consists of 14 lokas, he says that I have gobbled up all these lokas. That is, he has, from his standpoint of view, these don't exist at all. They have been negated by knowledge. Then Kalusha Ahankara Vilakshanoham. So this Ahankara is definitely something which is tainted, which is defiled. So I am totally distinct from that kind of an Ahankara, which is definitely going to bring only samsara to a person and only strengthen the samsara. But I have tamed that Ahankara, because without Ahankara, he cannot realize this Swarupam also. So it is not that Ahankara has to be completely demolished or erased, because it is not possible also. That's why Swami Paramarthananda used to remind people when they have heard statements like Manonasha and all that, it is not to be literally understood that the mind will be destroyed. No, it's not possible also. So for a person to live as a Jivan Mukta, definitely the mind has to be there. And the Karuna Rasa that we see now is located in that mind only. So without Manas, he can't express that, he can't have this Karuna Rasa and express it also. So here, when Kalusha Hankara is stated, it's only he has corrected it, he has cultivated or given all the samskaras to that Ahankara, so that it will not give him any more samsara, but will help him to only get released. So Kalusha Ahankara Vilakshanoham, Kalmasha Sukrutopalepa Tahitoham. So Kalmasha Sukrita, that is, Kalmasha is demerit or papam, Sukrita is punyam. So I don't have any touch of punyam and papam also. So even though the Vid.V.Subramanian in the beginning says that Muktirno Shatakoti Janma Sukritai Punye Vina Labhyate, even though it says that Mukti cannot be attained without the punya gained in several births, that statement is true, no doubt. It is required for a person to tread this path of sadhana and then attain it. But then the ultimate truth is that he will be free from punyam and papam also, because punya and papa also both give rebirth only. That is, it perpetuates samsara. So he says that I am free from punyam and papam. Karunarasa bharitaha krita kripamrita purnaha. So I am the embodiment of the emotion called compassion, karuna. Kavalita Kamalasanadi Lokaha, Kavalitaha Vyaptaha. So here, Kavalita is not taken literally like gobbling up or swallowing. What it means is, I am the one pervading it. That means all these lokas are only kalpita in me. That is, they are all only imagined in me. So Kavalita Vyaptaha Kamalasanadi Lokaha Brahma Lokaha Ahameva Kalusha Ahankriti Rahitaha. So I am free from the tainted ahankara. That's why Sri Ramakrishna also used to say that ahankara is of two types. One is the ahankara of a worldly person, and the other one is the ahankara of a devotee or a bhakta. So the worldly person says that all these things belong to me, I am the owner of these things and all that. Whereas all these things will change or will take a different dimension altogether when it comes to the devotee. So he will express himself as all these things belong to the Lord. I am a servant of the Lord and things like that. So that is how he expresses the ahankara. So ahankara remains there, but then it takes a different color altogether. Then kalmasha sukrtopalepa upalesha rahitaha. So upalepa rahitaha. So I am free from the punyam and papam. Kalmasham papam sukritam punyam tad upayoho upalepaha samsargaha tadrahito ahameva. So I am free from the even the small touch of the punyam and papam, because that is the one which gives rebirth. That's why in the Shastram there is a statement that punyamapi papameva mumukshu drishtiya. So from the point of view of the aspirant mumukshu, even punyam is considered to be papam because that also gives rise to further birth. Then next sloka. Khanama gocharoham khatitoham khapushpa bhava goham kalajana durasadoham khandajnanopanoda apanodana paroham. So khanama gocharoham, that is khanam agocharoham. Ka is actually indriyam, or it can even mean akasha. So I am free from the Panchabhutas. So Panchabhutas don't have anything to do with me because I am bliss, or I am Atman consciousness, but not the product of the Panchabhutas. That is the body-mind complex. I am free from all that. Khati toham, I am risen above all this. Then Kapushpa bhava goham. So Kapushpa is suma. That is, it is an impossibility. It is atyanta abhava. So you can have a flower in a garden or a pot, but not in the space. So earth or ether cannot support any of these things. So Kapushpa is one example for atyanta abhava, like Vandhyaputra, heirs on, that is Shashabhishana and all that. So this Kapushpa or Gagana Kusma is also one among such examples for impossibilities. That is atyanta abhava. So I have considered this world to be of that nature. That is, the world is of the nature of Gagana Kusuma. That is, it is an impossibility. But still, we are seeing the world and we are experiencing it. That is what is said to be the greatest Maya, according to texts like Panchadashi and all that. Then Kalajana Durasadokam. So Kalajana Durasadokam, that is, I am free from the pain of the of those in the society who are branded as criminals or those who are not adhering to the path of law and all that. So I am free from all that. Then Khanda Jnanopanodha Paroham. So Khanda Jnanopanodhana Paroham, that is, I am free from the any perception that is of a finite nature. So Akhanda Jnana is my nature, whereas Akhanda Jnana is the nature of the mind. So I am free from all that. So this is the shloka. Khanama gocharoham. Khanam indriyanam agocharaha avishayaha. So I am free from I am not the object of the senses. So senses is the senses are the one which can capture only physical objects, whereas the Atman is not of that nature. So it is super sensuous, is the Atman. So I am not the one who can be perceived through the senses. So Kanam, Indriyanam, Agocharaha, Abhishayaha. I am not at all the object of any of the senses. Khatitaha, Indriyatitaha. So I am beyond the Indriyas. Akashadi Bhutatitova. So the alternative meaning to it is that to this is that I am above or have transcended the realm of the Panchabhutas. So Panchabhutas are the ones who are the basic building material for the Bhautika Prapancha. So since I have transcended this, Panchabhutas are also transcended by me, or they stand to be transcended by me. In the Bhartrahari's Vairagya Shatakam, at the end he makes he bids a farewell to everything in the creation. And the Panchabhutas and the Bhautika Prapancha also is one of the things that to which he bids a farewell, saying that you have all helped me in my sadhana. And now I have attained the ultimate purpose of that. And now I am taking leave of you. So that is a kind of thanksgiving he is doing there for the Bhautika Prapancha also. Then, Kapushpa Bhavagaha, Akasha Pushpa Prayaha, Yo Bhavaha Samsaraha, Tasmin Vartamano Ahameva. So, I am the one who is enlivening, or the one who is situated or located in this world, which is akin to the Akasha Pushpa. So, Akasha Pushpa is an impossibility. So, if at all someone were to say that there is a world, then he says that it is akin to that kind of an whose mind, I am the one who is inhabiting the world. So this is the statement. The commentator has not given the commentary for the second line, that is Khalajana Durasa Doham Khandagnanopannoda na Parogam. So I have given the meaning for that I am free from the troubles of those who are not in the right path, because these Jivan Muktas like Shraddha-English and all that, they don't have any difference between a good person and a bad and an evil person. So for them, everyone is the same. So even if an evil person is to do something which is detrimental to him, which is painful to him, they don't mind it, because they don't have any feeling of enmity. So even persons like Ramana Maharshi, they had to take the beatings from some robbers who had come to rob the ashram, which didn't have anything at all at that time. So even he received many blows from the who had come there. So here with that we end that shloka. The next one is Galita Dvaita Kathoham Dehi Bhavadakhila Mola Hridayoham Gantavyoham Anihaihi Gatyagati Rahita Purna Bodhoham. So Galita Dvaita Kathoham. So Dvaita Katha is the world of duality. So I have swallowed it up, or I am free from that. Then Dehi, that I am the body, I am the one who is enlivening the body. Deha is the body, and Dehi is the one who is enlivening the body. That is the Atma-Sarupam, Jivatma-Sarupam, which is none other than Brahmatma-Sarupam. Then Bhavadakhila Mola Hridayoham. So I am the source of the entire creation. Then Gantavyoham Anihaihi Gatyagati Rahita Purna Bodhoham. So Iha is free from desire and activity. So Gantavyaha Aham Anihaihi. So I am the one who is the goal to be reached by those who have cultivated Vairagyam and all that, because they are mumukshus. So the aim of the mumukshu is to realize his true nature as Brahma Swarupam, and that is the one which is the goal for him. And he says here that I am that goal. Then Gatyagati Rahita Purna Bodhoham. And I am that pure infinite consciousness, which is free from the action of reaching and going away from there. That is, if we were to reach some place, naturally by default we will have to leave that place. So that is the case with all finite reachings. Whereas here, this Atma Swarupam is not that kind of a thing. Once a person attains this, there is no way he comes back. So, Yadgatva Nivartante Tadhama Paramam Mama. In the Gita, Krishna says that once a person knows this or realizes this, there is no way he falls back to samsara. Gatyagati Rahita Purna Bodhogam. So, Gati is going, Agati is returning. So, going and returning can happen only with in the case of worlds, that is Swarga Loka, any Loka, or even Brahma Loka for that matter. Certain types of upasanas are there where the fruit of that upasana is to experience the joys of Brahmaloka, but once that is over, they will come back. But that's not the case with those who are Saguna Upasakas. They will go there and they will never come back. So that is one technical difference between the certain upasanas and certain other upasanas. So Galiteti Gantavyoham Anihaihi Palasha Rahitaihi Gantavyaha Prapyaha. So I am the goal or the target which the mumukshus who are free from desires and all that keep as their something to be attained. So I am that true Sarupam. Then Gatyagati Rahita Purna Bodhaha Utpatti Vinasha Rahitaha Yaha Purna Bodhaha. So here Gatyagati is given the meaning of origin and destruction. So origin can happen and destruction can happen. These two can happen only with reference to finite perceptions. Like for example, Gatagñanam or Patagñanam. When a person sees an object, he gets the knowledge of the object. When that is when he gets the perception of the object. And when he sees something else, this perception comes to an end and the other perception takes over. So this is how it is happening in all of our day-to-day activities. Whereas this Atma Sarupam is something which is which remains forever. It doesn't have an origin or an end at all. That's why in the Upanishads also there is one particular passage which says that Nahi drashtuhu drishtehi viparilopo vidyate avinashitvat. So the pure consciousness with the help of which a person perceives the worldly objects or comes to know the worldly things, that pure consciousness will never come to an end because it is of the nature of avinashi. That is, since it has not originated at all, it will never get destroyed. And that is the true nature of everyone. And in the Gita, when Bhagavan says that Achyevdyoyam, Adahyoyam, and Nityaha, Sarvagataha, and all that, this consciousness is what is meant, which doesn't have any Udaya and Astamana. Purna Bodhaha, Atma Swarupa Lakshanaha, so Ahameva. Ganatara, Moha Timira, Prakara, Pradvamsana, Bhanu Nikaroham, Ghatika Vasara, Jani, Vasara Rajani, Samvatsara, Yuga Kalpa Kala, Vedoham. So, Ganatara, Moha Timira, Prakara, Pradvamsana is Ajnanam is given so many epithets. It is very, very thick. That is, it is a solid Ajnanam. Ganatara delusion. Timira is that Timira is actually the disease of the eye. It's something like cataract. Prakara, it is so very dense. Pradvamsana, Bhanu Nikaroham. And this Timira is, which is darkness also. I am the sun to this darkness of ignorance. That's what it means. Then Ghatika, Vasara, Rajani, Samvatsara, Yuga, Kalpakala, Dedoham. So whatever units of time, like 1 minute, 1 muhurta, 1 Ghatika, and all that is saturated, 1 Samvatsara, Yuga, Kalpa, and all that. I am the one which is being given so many expressions. So one Kala itself, which itself is indefinable, it is given so many units of Katika, Masa, Samvatsara, and all that. So Kala is also only an expression of or a variation or a vivarta of Brahman. So Kala doesn't have an existence apart from Brahman. In the same way, Desha also doesn't have an existence apart from Brahman. So time and space both are Brahman alone appearing as this. Ghanataraha, Nibidataraha. So it is extremely dense. Nibida is dense, thick. Ghanataraha, Nibidataraha, Yaha, Mohaha, Sayeva, Timaram, Andakara is Timara. Then Tasya, Yaha, Prakaraha, Vyaptihi, Tasya, Pradvamsanaha, Nashakaha, Yaha, Bhanu Nikaraha, Kirana Samuhaha. So I am that resplendent sun of knowledge that demolishes or that dispels this dense ignorance. Then Ghatika, Vasara, Rajani, Samvatsara, Yuga, Kalpa, Kala, Bhedaha, Ghatikadi Kalpantaha, Yaha, Kalaha, Kala, Bhedaha. So Ahameva. So Rajani is also one unit of some time. So Ghatika is actually 1 unit of 24 minutes. Then Muhurta will be 48 minutes. So that way it is built up. Ghatikadi Kalpanta. So Kalpa is the other extreme. Yaha Kalavedaha Swahameva. So all these time variations or differences and all that, or distinctions in the units of time, all that is only my expressions. So whatever happens in the creation, like units of space and units of time and events and all that, is only Atman alone appearing as those things in the on the basis of Ajnanam or ignorance or moha. So here we end this session. Shri Guru Charana Dvandvam Vandekam Matita Dussaha Dvandvam Bhranti Grahopashantim Pamsumayam Yasya Bhajitam Atanute Shastram Sharira Mimamsa Devastu Parameshwaraha Acharya Shankara Acharya Santume Janma Janmani